Biz, you mentioned earlier the Bruins, me and G crying last night down in Raleigh. Hurricanes absolutely dummy the Bruins 5-1 to take a 3-2 series lead. Charlie McAvoy back in the lineup after clearing the NHL's protocols, but didn't matter. He got the private jet to North Carolina, but really didn't matter. Anthony Raanta was awesome for Carolina. Stopped 33 of 34 shots, including a handful of early big ones. Bees had some good chances, couldn't cash in. Then the Canes got a 1-0 lead, and everybody in the room thought it was a shitty call. Max Domi, Derek Forbert going at it, and they only called the penalty on Forbert. Tony DeAngelo scores, makes it 2-0, and that was almost pretty much the ball game right there. By the way, DeAngelo, man, this guy's going to get absolutely paid.
It's been incredible.
What's your take on the Bees? Are they toast or what?
The worst refereed game of the playoffs.
Oh, it was?
Biz. There was a couple of calls against the Bruins, and I bet on Carolina. And I was like, I have to admit, as a true fan, that is a fuck job on a couple of those calls.
Okay.
Thank you.
I would say the one series where home ice advantage matters the most.
Yep.
Both teams have looked completely different between home and on the road. And you just talk about, chess, not checkers. The Bergeron line. When they're playing 5-on-5 against Sebastian Aho in game 4, they played 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, they didn't get shit. It was the wet blanket special. But when they go back home in Raleigh, Patrice Bergeron only got 5-on-5 ice time of 46 seconds because they're able to switch it up and get him away from that line match. And on top of that, to trump it, as far as that top line for the Bruins offense, they at home now have Stahl on that line. And Stahl at home has done a masterful job at shutting down that top unit for the Bees. So Bees heading back home, I would imagine that they hold serve. Swayman's looked really good at home. Pretty much, it's like you said, Whit. They're the Jekyll and Hyde. You don't really get that physical team on the road as much as you do off at home. I would imagine just simply because they're feeding off that Bruins crowd. So to me, the line matchup's huge. And then of course I had Tony DeAngelo's response game. Listen, he came unhinged the game before. He fucking was getting chirped by Marchand. He was taking stupid penalties. He threw his stick on the empty net. And then he goes home and he pots a goal and 2 apples. And you guys said it. He's going to be one of the most sought after free agent defensemen. And now he's continuing to do it in playoff hockey. So let's see.
You don't think a little like how insane he is will cost him some money? He's a loose cannon. He's a hell of a hockey player, but he is a loose cannon. You can't tell me that if 100%. He didn't have like some of those outbursts where he looks crazy, he wouldn't make a little more money.
Yeah, I think that if he would have had the year he had this year in New York when he ended up getting tossed off the team,
he might have got $8 million.
He probably would have got a 6 times 6.5, 6 times 7. He's not like he's a great offensive defenseman. I wouldn't say he's the most reliable defensively. I still think his market price is going to be like a 5 times 5. I think he gets about it, but yes. So I guess short answer, yes, it will cost him some money.
You think he's only get $5 million a year for 5 years? That's it, really?
I don't know. I don't know how much
contract I'm super interested in seeing.
Yeah, because you don't know if he's like, you know what? I'm living in this place where I can hide in the weeds. I'm having great success here. I've been to a big market and I see where maybe my faults can lead to chaos, not only from a playing career standpoint, but also I would imagine in his personal life, because that whole experience he went through must have been extremely difficult, man. This guy went from potentially securing a bag like you guys are talking about to like you didn't even know whether a team was going to give him another chance.
Yep.
I was positive a team was, but I don't know how many offers he got. And even people like there were season ticket holders in Carolina saying they were fucking ditching their season tickets because they fucking signed him. So talk about the amount of stress and shit that this guy's probably gone through. So for him to have a bounce back like he has, I hope he fucking gets paid. I do. Because from what I've heard from guys that have played with him, he's actually a fucking great guy. Just has probably made some really, really dumb mistakes. So if he stays with Carolina, they're not going to give him the bag, obviously, boys. We know how they go. They're the cheapest fuck organization in the league.
Let's talk about bouncing back. Seth Jarvis hit a pair of goals in the route. Took the shot right off the nuts. I thought I hit him in the chest that game. He took it right off the nuts because everyone's like, oh, he got 1 goal for each fucking nut shot. But a little bounce back from him. How about Niederreiter, Stahl, and Fast along with Shea and Pesci? Absolutely shutting the Bees down, doing a great job. Cassidy mixed up the lines. Nothing's worked. And the Canes have scored first in every game. Could finish the Bruins off tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Jens texted me. He thinks there's a chance Carolina doesn't lose a home game in the playoffs. It's that tough to play against. And Army was it Army? No, I think Motts was mentioning last night. Yeah. Biz, you remember the first 5 minutes of Carolina? That place, they get
you know what
going. Were they pretty bad actually when you played?
So during my 5 years, they didn't have
Calgary
the best
tied
teams.
it. Fuck.
Yes.
I'm gonna check the score. Yeah.
13 minutes to go. Fuck
it. But San Jose was that way for me when they had their really good teams, where the first 10 minutes you were like, hey boys, let's just get out of the first 10. It was like for the fucking first 5 minutes. We'd be down 3-0 before we knew it.
Oh, so lucky.
That building's a little bit smaller than the normal NHL ranks. That's why it's a little louder in there. Now in the springtime, even more, those Carolina people are tailgating. Like they think it's like a college football game. So they're belligerent before puck drop. That energy, it's going to be really tough to win down there. But I like Bruins to win game 6 at home.
That's a fucking, hey, from all you Hurricanes fans who say we don't talk about you guys enough on the podcast, that was a fucking double wrister and a half. I put the mascara on for that one. You guys are crushing it. The fans are becoming just as big of a piece as any guy on the ice, for crying out loud. And very, very, very underrated cheerleading staff.